Somehow the correlation between becoming internet famous and grooming minors needs to be studied at a professional level, because today we're talking about Colleen Ballinger, or Miranda Sings, who of course blew up a couple months ago by responding to grooming allegations by playing the ukulele and making a terrible response video. That of course got like 15 million views by saying, well, of course she's not a groomer, she's just a loser. You know, the classic band kid route. But recently JoJo Siwa went on a podcast defending her, and I gotta say her response was very questionable. So yeah, she went on a podcast with this guy named Howie Mandel and pretty much defended Colleen Ballinger by saying, you know, they're friends and all this stuff, but oh my god, somehow lacks the most basic self-awareness I've ever seen. So let's play the first clip.
Speaking of friends, are you and if I'm wrong, are you friends with Colleen Ballinger still?
Yeah,
What do you say about
I've known Colleen since I was 12.
Yeah, great way to start the defense of a minor groomer. Like, in the context, it's actually crazy that she said that. Like, I understand, you know, JoJo Siwa was trying to say, like, oh, I've known her forever, but saying you've known a groomer since you were 12 is wild to me. Like, absolutely no self-awareness. By the way, at the time, you know, JoJo Siwa was 12 and Colin would have been 28, okay? She was 12. Yikes. Like, I get in the entertainment industry, you know, people of all ages are interacting, you know, just like the podcast we're watching, you know. The JoJo Siwa is 20 years old and that Howie Mandel guy is 67. You know, so that's a pretty big age gap, but they're interacting in the regards to, you know, making entertainment. But I can't be the only one that thinks that when Colleen Ballinger was 28 and she was making friends with JoJo Siwa at 12 years old, like, that's weird as shit. Like, I can't be the only one that thinks that's just not normal. Only 18% of the people watching this video right now are actually subscribed to the channel. Don't be part of the 81%. Subscribe to the channel. You have nothing to lose.
So for those that don't know, Colleen is in the middle of a kind of a...
It's tough. It's a...
Colleen, what was the name of the character?
Miranda Sings.
Miranda Sings. My other daughter went to all the concerts and everything, and she's getting accused of things.
Yes.
Which we don't have to talk about that she's accused of, but I would imagine if you're friends with her, you kind of met her when you were young.
I was 12 when I met her. And she's always been nothing but kind to me. Her family, nothing but kind to me.
And you know what, even in this next part, you know, Howie gave her an out, you know, to not talk about it. And there she goes yapping about the whole situation. Like, this would have been a perfect time to pivot, but instead she's like, yeah, let's talk about someone I've known for like almost a decade who the entire internet thinks is a groomer.
I think this is the first time that I've talked about this, so I just want to make sure I say my exact piece that I want to say. The internet can take a lie and run so far with it, so far that it's to the point where you just can't do anything about it.
Now, of course, Colleen could have come out with a video, you know, to disprove the claims, you know, to actually provide some evidence. But instead, she made that terrible ukulele singing song. And of course, people aren't going to take anything she said serious in that video because Colleen isn't even taking herself serious in that video. Like, you're responding to grooming allegations in actually the worst way possible. Like, I don't remember if we initially covered the situation on the channel, but I still think to this day that was the worst YouTuber response we've ever seen, and that happened like this year. I don't know about you guys, but how do YouTuber responses to allegations keep getting worse over time? You know, you think after all the years of terrible YouTuber responses, you know, people might start to learn that, hey, you know, it's time to take allegations more seriously, but somehow you still get videos like the ukulele response, which is actually crazy. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a very big believer in innocent until proven guilty. You know, it's a very good, you know, way to think about most allegations, but we've seen Colleen's response to the allegations and it was terrible. You know, we've seen the proof, but JoJo Siwa says, you know, there's nothing to be done because the internet's pretty much already made up their mind. You know what, how about making a proper response with actual evidence? actual proof that Colleen isn't a groomer. Why would she not want to present that kind of proof? She obviously has these text logs, that the allegations came from initially. Why isn't she not presenting it, for the public? She says, trust me, bro, without backing it up. And she says it's not even worth disproving because the internet has already made up their mind. Well, you know what? The internet can change their mind. I mean, look at the Slazo situation. Look at the Quite situation. There's two people that, got falsely accused and allegations came against them, and pretty much the internet made up their mind, and then they made response videos, where the truth actually came out, and the internet, changed their mind. It's very possible that actually happened. People care about the truth, so show it to them.
And I think the work that Colleen has done for the internet is incredible. I think her creativity is incredible. Miranda Sings is a character, is a comedian, and I think that it's very hard to be a character where people are also looking at you as you're a real human behind that character. And I think being a comedian is very hard because you were able to do things years ago that were okay, and now that we've grown and we've matured, we've realized that they're not okay. You know what I mean?
I don't understand this logic she's talking about, Colin's cancellation. Like, it was about some 2013 tweets or something. When was grooming kids ever okay? Something tells me, a decade ago, it definitely wasn't okay. And one of the things that Colin apparently did was send underwear to a fan, and that was never funny, even a decade ago. Like, don't get me wrong, I like dark humor and all, but there's no humor in what Colleen did, especially because all of this stuff was apparently behind the scenes. Like, where's the joke? Of course there isn't one.
But you, as somebody who's been in the public eye for a long time,
yes,
do you think that it is appropriate to communicate openly with everybody that reaches out to you?
No, I don't think that communicating with fans is, you got to be careful to not
and that's what I'm saying,
to not blur a friend fan line. It's very tough.
And here's my question to you, regardless of judging whatever specifically is being said that was happening. And I'm just saying this as a parent again. You said you started communicating with her when you were 12.
Yes.
Is you want to be a parent?
But you guys were in the same industry.
So
if Jeffrey Epstein was in her industry, would that be okay if they were, interacting? Like, bro, she's 12. It doesn't matter if she was in the entertainment industry. She was 12. And when you're 12, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. 28-year-old Colleen Banniger decided to become friends with JoJo Siwa at 12 years old. It's weird regardless of the industry.
We met because on Dance Moms, do you know Tadra Hall?
Yes.
So on Dance Moms, Tadra Hall had a party and invited the Dance Moms cast, and 4 of the girls went, and they discluded myself and Nia, who is another girl on the show. And we all knew Tadra, so we were fine with that. But then Colleen, as Miranda, surprised the girls. And me and Nia were devastated because we were massive fans, and we loved Colleen and we loved Miranda. And then when the episode came out, Colleen saw how upset me and Nia were, and she reached out to Holly and was like, I would love to make this up to you guys. She was like, I was wondering where JoJo and Nia were. I had no idea that this was the case. Please, whatever you guys want. I just want to make the kids happy.
Oh my god, you definitely could have said that better. Again, no self-awareness. And, I gotta say, this is definitely a bad look for JoJo Siwa. I can understand, defending friends against allegations, but so far Colleen Banniger has provided no evidence on the contrary to these grooming allegations, and it's definitely a bad look for JoJo Siwa to be making these kind of statements. But that's just my thoughts on this situation. You can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. The other day we made a video about how the pink sauce lady has finally responded about the GoFundMe she made where she was begging her fans for money when it turns out she was making $10,000 a month. This is a crazy video you're not going to want to miss. Click here to watch it now.